Right now as you watch this, your brain is being manipulated in ways you don't even realize. Did you know that most of what you communicate is not through your words? 93% of human communication involves subconscious influence. It's nonverbal. It is subconscious. Think about that for a moment. The vast majority of the messages you send and receive every single day are happening without your conscious awareness. You are a walking, talking transmitter of hidden signals. Your posture, your gestures, the subtle flicker of your eyes, the almost imperceptible shifts in your tone of voice. These are the strings that truly move the world around you, and you are barely even aware that you are holding them. We like to believe we are in control. We think our choices are our own, born from pure reason and deliberate thought. What if the decisions you make, from the coffee you order to the person you fall in love with, are often guided by unseen forces? These are not supernatural powers or mystical energies. They are far more real and far more human. They are the subtle psychological nudges and pushes that we are all subjected to, every hour of every day. Now here is a thought that might make you uncomfortable. You are not just the puppet in this scenario, you are also the puppeteer. You have almost certainly used psychological tactics to influence someone else, probably even today. Have you ever exaggerated a story to make it more compelling and to get a specific reaction? Have you ever timed a request perfectly, asking your boss for a favor when they are in a good mood? Perhaps you have guilt-tripped a friend into doing something. These are not the actions of a villain. We learn these behaviors from a young age. A teenager learns that a specific tone can win an argument. We absorb these techniques from our environment. We become masters of micromanipulation without ever attending a class. This is not to say that you are a bad person. Influencing others is a fundamental part of the human toolkit, for better or worse. The line between persuasion and manipulation is incredibly fine. When you dress up for a job interview, you are manipulating perception. When you compliment before asking for help, you are using reciprocity. These are tactics, deliberate and designed to control a situation. So we find ourselves in a strange paradox. We are victims and perpetrators. This shatters the simple narrative of good and bad. The capacity for manipulation resides within all of us. Recognizing that is the first step toward understanding its true power. Let's look at how this plays out in the real world, in places you would never expect. Imagine you are out shopping, limited time offer, almost sold out. A salesperson approaches and says, "That's our most popular model, we can barely keep it in stock." Most popular, almost sold out. It creates a sense of urgency. It uses social proof. If everyone else is buying it, it must be good. You suddenly feel pressure to act, a fear of missing out. Your rational brain is sidelined by a primal emotional response. This isn't an accident. It's a carefully crafted technique. Or consider a conversation with a friend. You mention you're thinking about trying a new hobby. Friend scoffs. "Oh, you wouldn't be any good at that, you've never been very coordinated." Disguised as a joke, friendly banter, but it's also a subtle form of control. A neg. Maybe it's to keep you in their comfortable dynamic. "Do you want to go to my parents' house for dinner, or do you want to just stay in and be bored tonight?" That's a false dichotomy. One option is clearly undesirable. They've framed the situation to guide you toward their preferred outcome. These examples are not extreme. They are mundane. They come from our friends, family, colleagues, and the incessant stream of advertising. So, what do we call this collection of techniques? There is a term for it: dark psychology. It sounds pretty sinister, almost like something from a spy thriller. But honestly, it's simply a label for the study of human nature as it relates to manipulation and control. Dark psychology explores the darker aspects of our psychological makeup. The cognitive biases, the emotional triggers, the social vulnerabilities that can be exploited. It is, in a way, the science behind the art of coercion. It's the playbook used by cult leaders, car salesmen, and ordinary people too. Dark psychology is not a separate evil version of regular psychology. It's the application of psychological principles for deceptive, coercive, self-serving ends, without regard for the other person's well-being. Think of a master manipulator like Charles Manson. He didn't use magic. He used established psychological principles with terrifying precision. He used love bombing to create intense bonds, isolation to make followers dependent, loaded language to reframe reality. You don't need to be a cult leader to use these tools. A manager might give vague instructions, change expectations at the last minute. This creates low-level anxiety, making the team easier to control. The core of dark psychology lies in understanding and exploiting the gap, between stimulus and response. It bypasses the rational mind and speaks directly to the subconscious, the emotional, the primal parts of our brain. The purpose of this is not to make you paranoid. It is not to make you distrust your friends or see villains everywhere. The purpose is to wake you up, to start viewing your interactions through a new lens, to pull back the curtain and show the machinery running in the background. Awareness is your only real defense. Once you understand the principles, you begin to see them everywhere. You can recognize when they are being used on you, and when you are using them yourself. Think back on your day so far. Was it the news anchor framing a story to provoke a specific emotional response? Was it a colleague using flattery before asking for a big favor? Now think about your own actions. Did you phrase a request to make it hard to say no? Did you withhold information in a meeting to keep an advantage? Be honest with yourself. We are all players in this game. This new perspective can be unsettling at first. It might feel like you're seeing the code behind the matrix. Old, straightforward conversations now seem layered with hidden intent. But this is not a curse, it is a gift, the gift of clarity. It lets you move through the world with more agency. You can disengage from manipulative conversations.